soul and the incarnated soul. Oh, by the way, just to make it simple for you, I think some of you who are new, this is too much. But how do you call soul in Spanish? Alma. How do you call soul in Sanskrit? Atma. Do you know why it's called alma in Spanish? Because a long, long time ago, there's this Indian yogi going from India, going to South America, and he had no teeth, he was old. So he says, alma. I'm joking. Okay. Okay. I think I'm losing it. Even my jokes don't work anymore. All right. In Italian, the soul is called anima, where the word anime comes from. So what happens is the soul enters the body and animates it. So when the animating factor pulls itself out, the body is inanimate or dead. Let's finish this. I think some of you are falling asleep, so let's make it quick. So this higher soul inhabits a human shell. So this is the higher soul. If there's a higher, there must be a lower. So if this is the higher soul, this is also called that incarnated soul. So as we go through life, there's a cable connecting the higher with the lower. How many notice when you look at spiritual pictures, you see a light coming down? That's called the spiritual cord. Now that spiritual cord is your communication cable. So for ordinary people, the cable is so small. So even though the data is already here, they make the mistake, then the signal finally came in, oh, I should not have done that. But if the cable is a little bigger, while you're making the mistake, you have a realization, I think there's something wrong, I should stop. But if the cable is much, much bigger, the situation presents itself, you go, nope, I'm not going to do it. Why? I just know it's wrong. It depends on how strong the communication is. So for ordinary people who are not yet on the spiritual path, let me see if I have an image for you. Not in this one, but I'll show you another one. For ordinary people, it's very thin. For people on the spiritual path who've been doing their spiritual practice, it's big. Let me put it another way. For people who are not on the spiritual path seriously, their spiritual cord is so thin, it's just like, in olden times you have a dial-up internet. You type the web address, you go to the toilet, read the newspaper, you come back, it's still loading. Okay. But as you do more spiritual practice, if it's so big, it's just like you're on high-speed internet. You notice when you type something, it's processed. So what happens is, as a person goes through life, whatever's happening in front of them, the information is shut up, transferred downwards, you know what to do. People call it intuition. So the question is, what's it got to do with this? When you say Our Father, it is to remind you who you are, that you're not the body, not the emotions, or the thoughts. You are a spiritual being, and you came from God. So when you're praying, you say Our Father. Now, I remember many years ago, some people said, that prayer is really sexist. How come it's not Our Father, Our Mother? How much detail do you want? I don't want to make you fall asleep.
Detail.
Okay. This is supposed to be an introduction. I have a big mouth. How many ever heard of the words Essenes? Okay. This Essenes, it's the information, there's a lot of it, but at the same time, partially sketchy. But I'll share with you what my teacher taught. The Essenes, supposedly, a lot of the prophets, including Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, and other before him, were part of this spiritual tradition. And they had many practices. They have one practice called purification by air, water, earth, and fire. The fire one, some of you have done. You go around the bonfire, you do some chanting, you throw your emotions and your anger and negativity into the fire to be burned. How many done that before? Purification by water is what you call baptism. In Latin, baptism means to immerse. Baptizo, it cleanses. Purification by earth is where you bury yourself in the ground and have the earth energy drain your negativity and you actually feel recharged. The question is, what's purification by air? Running around naked. Air drying. Okay, anyway. Some people, I like that. Okay, anyway. Now, what's it got to do with this? There are certain secret teachings that says something like this. You worship the Father by night, you worship the Mother by day. What did I say? Worship the Father by night, worship the Mother by day. Alright, here's how it works. At night, when your body sleeps, your soul or your spirit goes into the higher world. So the word Father, in that context, is your spiritual nature. Mother, mom is the one that gives birth, isn't it?
Yes.
So in the spiritual teachings, the mother is the form. So at night, you worship the Father. During the day, you have to get connected to Mother Earth so you can function in the physical world.
Right.
Let me put it another way. You notice some people, the more they do spiritual practice, the more broke they get? No, I'm serious. You know why? Because in their case, this connection is very, very big, but the earth connection is small.
Right.
If you look at people who are very, very prosperous, the earth connection is very, very big, but this connection might or might not be big. So when you say Father, Spirit, Mother Earth, it's describing the connection. So when you're saying Our Father, you're trying to connect to your spiritual nature. That's why you say Our Father. It's not because it's sexist.
Right.
It has to do with the energy aspect. Okay, just to mess with you. Would you like to know one of the specializations of the Essenes?
Yes.
Miraculous healing of an open wound. Miraculous, rapid healing of an open wound. You didn't get it. Meditate on it. Okay, let's make it quick because we're running out of time. So when the crown chakra is very, very activated, the crown looks like literally a crown. So in the Hindu tradition, you oftentimes see this or this. In the Roman Catholic tradition, you have the mitre. It's a symbol of the golden light in the crown. Let's move this quick. Now, this crown, when it's highly activated, can be used for healing. So as you bring the spiritual energy in, it can be used to help other people. So this is called laying on of hands, but in our case, we don't touch. In church, they touch. Okay? All right. Okay, everybody follow me? Touch the top of your head. Say crown.
Crown.
Our Father.
Our Father.
Okay, touch here, close to the hairline. Say forehead.
Forehead.
Who art in heaven.
Who art in heaven.
The real third eye.
The real third
Okay, put that
eye.
down. So I know a lot of you have studied, just keep an open mind. Most books that you read, when you say third eye, they say in between the eyebrows, right? You know why? Because most people only were taught the 7 chakras. But in reality, the third eye is not here. It's higher up. Okay, let me show you. When you daydream, where do you look? Do you go like this? Do you go like this? You go like that. Isn't it? Okay, so when you go like this, watch. If my eyes are straight like this is the horizon. If I look up, I'm looking directly here. So when you close your eyes and you start letting go, the eyes start going up, it's right here. That's when people start seeing visions. So if you look at this image, this is the white Tara. In the Tibetan tradition, you notice the eye is not in between the eyebrows, it's higher up. The reason this is called who art in heaven, you see the word heaven, when you talk to somebody who's Buddhist, you say, oh, when I die, I'll go to heaven. You know what they say? Great, which one? See, the word heaven simply means the energy world. And there are different compartments. The camera that allows you to see it is right here, not here. So that's why this is who art in heaven. I think I'm losing you. Huh?
No.
Yeah, anyway, all right. Okay, just to add additional information, you notice she has eyes on her hands and she has eyes on her feet. Why? What is the meaning of the eyes and the hands? See, an eye is used to perceive something, yes? So the eye on the forehead is to perceive energy through sight. The eyes in the hand is what we do in pranic healing, perceiving energy through touch. Now, the question is, why are the eyes on the feet? I don't think you're interested. We'll just skip it.
For grounding.
Grounding, then what? You have to go with the same meaning. Perceiving something. This is perceived energy through sight. This is perceiving through touch. What do the feet have to do with anything?
Taking negativity in the earth.
Perceiving what?
Earth's energy.
I'll just tell you, you never figure it out. I'll just tell you. Otherwise, it'll take too long. It's very, very simple. Your body is an energetic computer. You talk to any medical doctor in the room, you don't have to compute how many times your heart has to pump, how many times your lungs have to, to breathe. Everything is pre-computed. Yeah? The earth is also a gigantic biocomputer. So, this is the secret. I can't tell you the details, but enough that at least you know the meaning. How many of you have heard of prophets predicting future? This is how it's done. I can't tell you details, but enough that you understand. The feet is something like this. As you reach a certain level of development of the brain and the nervous system, the feet is like, your USB cable. You go from your phone, you connect to your computer. So from the feet, the human energy field, the human biocomputer, connects downwards to the biocomputer of the earth. From there, the question is, who manages the computer? The nature spirits. So, when these prophets connect to Mother Earth, they can communicate with the nature beings. If there's going to be a volcanic eruption, an earthquake, any type of big calamities, all of that is pre-computed. The reason the prophets know is because they got the first-hand information plugging into the biocomputer of the earth. That's the secret of the feet. Don't bother researching it, you'll never find it on the internet. Because these are not usually taught. But since you look interested, so here's what we'll do for the sake of time. Touch your crowd. Say, Our Father. Touch in between right here on your forehead. Say, Who art in heaven. Okay. Touch in between your eyebrows and your throat. What's the next line? Hallowed be thy name. Put your hand down. When you say hallowed be thy name, what are you doing? You're praising. When you praise with your mind and your speech. So this chakra here controls your mind. This chakra here controls your mouth. That's why hallowed be thy name. The next one, touch your heart. Thy kingdom come. Alright, put your hand down. Thy kingdom come. The heart chakra is the chakra of kindness and love and generosity. So when the heart chakra is activated, thy kingdom comes in. As your heart is very, very activated, you're very generous and giving. You generate good karma. The law of karma says whatever you plant comes back to you multiplied. So when the heart is activated, the kingdom of prosperity and abundance manifests in your life. What's the next line? Thy will be done. Okay. Keep an open mind. How many notice when a certain crisis or problem happens and you cannot find a solution, finally you get in your knees and you go, I give up, thy will be done. Everybody been there. And somehow when you say, I surrender, thy will be done, you go, there's a release. Then put it another way. How many notice when you're meditating, then you go like this. Then you settle down. Or somebody's doing healing on you. At some point you go, what is this? Is. Okay, I'll tell you. Your solar plexus chakra controls your diaphragm. When you're stressed out, that chakra is blocked. When it's blocked, it doesn't spin properly. It affects your diaphragm, which affects your breathing. You see, your lungs do not have muscles. You know that, right? The way you breathe, okay, Dr. Nicole, help me out. How does a person breathe? What does the diaphragm do? So the diaphragm expands or drops, you suck air in. The diaphragm pushes up, you exhale. So when you stress out, the chakra cannot spin properly, so the diaphragm is not moving properly. You breathe like that. So when the chakra gets cleansed, then you can breathe normally. What's my point? If you look at this, this is the middle of your body. These are your lower chakras, these are the upper chakras. The lower chakras, I'll make this quicker. The tailbone is your basic center, controls your ability to make money. Your sex chakra controls your ability to be creative as well as big babies. Your navel chakra is connected to power. That's why you notice people who do martial arts, they always go, or they go. So this is physical power. Watch. Everything below the solar plexus is connected to survival in the human world. Love, thinking, compassion, intuition, all of it are where? Up here. So when a person is conflicted between their lower nature and the higher nature, the one in the middle gets blocked. You understand? So when a person finally lets go and allows the spiritual energy to come down, when they say that will be done, the spiritual force comes down and controls all the lower chakras. That's how you have peace in your life. That's why the solar plexus is that will be done. Don't worry, we're not just talking about it, we're actually doing the meditation so you experience. Otherwise, I can talk all night. If you don't experience it, it's a complete waste of time. Let me finish it with this. Okay, the navel center on your belly button, on earth as it is in heaven. What's in heaven? Energy. What's in the physical world? Matter. So here's what happens. When you do meditation and spiritual practice, you're generating a lot of subtle energy. But that subtle energy is not consumable by your body. It has to be stepped down to a frequency your body can use. That step down transformer is your navel. That's why people, when they do all this energy work, they always have to go like this to drop the vibration so body can use it. Or some of you have learned, every time you meditate, you're supposed to put your hand on your belly. How many learned that before? Because your belly button, your navel chakra, is the chakra that can downgrade the frequency so your body knows what to do with it. That's why the navel chakra is called as on earth as it is in heaven. I'm almost done. Stay with me. I don't think you're interested in this. Okay. How many notice when you're with people with low energy, after being with them for a few minutes, you feel drained and tired? Oh, if you go to Hawaii, you know what they call energy? Mana. Sounds familiar?